to see you guys. It's been so long. How have you been doing? I'm so sorry it's been such a long time till I posted from the last time. Guys, it's been a hell of a ride. So the last video I did, I fully intended on posting again probably the next week, but it was that point during lockdown where everything got really, really crazy. There was so much stuff going around on social media, and I could literally feel all of the vibration of everybody that I'm connected to drop, and I felt like it was going to pull me down with it. So I literally had to disconnect from everything. So I stopped making videos, stopped posting, stopped going on Twitter, Facebook, stopped looking outside to see what was going on in the world, and literally just focused on being in nature, connecting in my garden, planting fruits, vegetables, herbs, shoes and socks off, feet in the mud, literally every single day. And after about 2 weeks, my frequency just went right the way back up again. And it's really, really important that my frequency stays high because of the grid in my area where I am. So I had to disconnect from everything in order to make sure that my frequency stayed high. Plus, I was trapped in the house with my 2 kids who were literally just trying to kill each other, my husband, with no escape for any of us. So it was really, really tough. And we just threw ourselves into creating this beautiful new vegetable garden, because I've been guided to make sure that I have plenty of fruits and vegetables growing in my house and in my garden. And since the lockdown, since I connected with you guys last, now I've got apple trees, pear trees, lemon trees, lime trees, apricot trees, fig trees, cherry trees, tansies. Who even knows what a tansy is? I don't. When it grows I'll find out, I'm sure. Blackberries, raspberries, gooseberries. What's a gooseberry? I don't know. I'm going to find out. So that's the fruits, and obviously strawberries and blueberries, every kind of berry you can think of. And then we've got all of the vegetables growing, so tomatoes, chickpeas, sweet corn, aubergines, cucumbers, courgettes, peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, sprouts, potatoes, broad beans, runner beans, French beans, peas, sweet corn. We've got it all going on. But, oh my goodness. So we did that because we were bored, and it was just a way of basically escapism during the lockdown, so we didn't kill each other. And now it's blossomed into something beautiful. Now I realise that actually that was the whole point. The whole point of the lockdown was to give people the time to get their gardens up and growing, and if they so chose, take the memo and get the gardens up and cooking. So we've got all of that growing now, but it takes so much time to maintain it. And you get up in the morning, you've got the kids that need feeding, but the vegetables need feeding, the fruit trees need feeding. You never get fed because you never have chance. You're just feeding everybody else. And it's just been so manic. I just have not had the time to do anything QHHTE. So I do apologise. But it has been really, really necessary for me to unhook at that particular point that we were in. And now my frequency feels like it's even higher than it was before. And we've been getting some amazing sunshine in the UK, and it just feels great. It feels great to be here. And we're getting some chickens as well. We've got some chickens, and there's been all these packages arriving, and my husband's like, "What's that, Laura?" I'm like, "It's a swing for the chickens." a chicken's wing. Yes, well, they've got to have a quality of life. They have to have something to do. So I bought them a swing that they can get on and swing and live their best life. And I'm like, when we harvest a broccoli, I'm pulling the broccoli out and hanging it up from the coop, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's a broccoli piñata for the chickens. Apparently, chickens love broccoli. They hang it up and then they peck at it. It's all great stuff. It's all great stuff. I'm sure my husband thinks most of the time that he's married to an absolute lunatic. But I tell you what, all of my little, my new things that I do, they've never led him wrong. Not once. Not once. And now we go into the garden every night. I go out with my little basket, harvest all the vegetables, eggs, fruit, flowers, come back in with your basket, chop it all up, cook homemade food, using homegrown herbs. I just feel like I'm on new earth already. I really, really do. I feel like I've been given so much abundance, and I haven't been given anything really. I've just stopped my life, which was just ridiculously chaotic, got off the bus and spent some time actually cultivating the postage stamp of space that I own in the world. And I'm living in heaven. Literally living in heaven. I've got rows and rows, buckets and buckets of flowers, wild flowers, all outside the front of my house. And the postman and the delivery driver and the postwoman will come up the path, and I've got all crystals laid out in grids and organised. And they'll say to me, what is that? I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. What is it? Can you tell me what it is? And then it sparks a conversation off with people. And then eventually, once you've spoken about crystals and organites for a while, you can casually slip in what it is that you do and find out if they have ever heard of it or if they're interested in it. And surprisingly, at least one of my postmen is actually a qualified hypnotherapist, and he knows all about quantum healing. So it just goes to show what you can find out when you do open up and you start speaking to people. So I've had an amazing time during quarantine, but now it's back to work. And I started back at work first week in June. And since the first week in June, I've had some absolutely incredible clients, incredible sessions. And I've just got round to transcribing one of them that I would like to share with you guys today. I've had some amazing stuff. Literally, pretty much nearly every client that's come to see me has spoken about the shift in some way. There's lots of information coming through at the moment regarding making sure that you have a supply of water in your house, i.e. get some backup bottled water. Ideally, get some water butts. Get some water butts outside, collecting rainwater. If you can, get a water distiller as well. But make sure that you have some means of drinking that is not connected to the main water system. That's come out a few times now. Also as well, make sure that you've got a good stock of food in your house. Now, I'll explain more about this as we go along. And there's no fear in this at all. There's no fear in this at all. In fact, it's very exciting what's going to be happening over the next few months, if you like. But basically, over the past 3 weeks, I have had confirmation through multiple clients that we are now in the process. A new phase has started, and we are now in the process of the two worlds splitting. No, really. So basically, what everybody has said is the two energies now, and I've been saying this for a while, but I've had confirmation of this. The two energies now are building up energy in order for the split to happen. So what looks to us like the world is breaking down, everything's going wrong, society's gone crazy, what feels almost like the darkness is taking over is not that. We are at the moment in this stage where you have, take this off because I know the shine on my glasses is quite irritating. We are in this stage at the moment where the two energies are existing in the same space. So you've got dark and light existing in the same space. So because we're in the same space, those of us who are light, who have a lot of empathy, we're very empathetic, we notice everything, we feel everything, we feel where there's a lack of love, we feel where there's a lack of connection. Because we are still in the same space with these people who have chosen the dark path, we're very affected by it. And if we're not careful, our energy can get pulled into that side, into that dark side of the split. If we focus too much of our own personal energy on what is going on out there, and I had to stop myself doing this, that's why I had to pull away. Because I get very triggered by vaccines. That really triggers me a lot, vaccines. So I have to pull away from it and remind myself that that is not my world. Vaccines are not my world. And if the ones that are on the 3D side want to do that, then that's fine. That's their choice. And I absolutely respect that. But for me, that's not for me. So whilst it may feel right now as if everything's going wrong, it actually isn't. It's actually a very, very exciting point in ascension, because it is the build-up of the opposing energies which repel each other. And the opposing energies need to build up in order for the repel to happen, in order for the split to happen. Before on Earth, everybody was like a bit of a mix. Bit of a mix of dark, bit of a mix of light. Bit more dark, bit more light. What's happening because of the light energies that's coming in is it's forcing people to choose. It's making the people who hold more light lighter, and it's making the people who hold more dark darker, because the light is irritating the dark that's inside of them. So it's polarizing everybody. So the dark's getting darker, the light's getting lighter, and that is what we are seeing. And that is a necessary part of this whole process of ascension. It is necessary for the dark to get darker, for the light to get lighter, before the split can happen, because those two energies have to be at their absolute peak to repel each other to cause the split. So what we're seeing right now when we look outside, if we're light, is, oh my goodness, these riots are happening over here, and they're pulling that statue down over there, and this is happening over here, and it doesn't really feel like ascension's very close. But actually it's closer than ever, because the dark has got to go crazy and absolutely give its best shot in order to polarize dark. And us on the light path have got to become even more loving and reach out even more to our brothers and sisters and our neighbours and everybody in order to polarize that light path. And then at the peak moment, when it feels like things cannot get any worse because we can still see the dark and the dark's going crazy, that's when the two energies repel each other. Split. Done. Wow. And I've had that confirmed by at least 15 people over the past 3 weeks. That's what's going on the planet right now. So if you're feeling worried and you're thinking, oh gosh, I thought thought ascension was meant to be happening, and the world just seems to be descending into chaos. Yes, it does. And that, my friend, is a good sign, because that means that the two energies are actively polarizing now, and it's got to get bad before they can repel each other. Now, the session that I've chosen to share with you guys today is a wonderful session that describes just that, what I've tried to explain in my own Laura Whitworth way just then. And this lady that came to see me, it was very, very interesting actually, because when she came to see me, she got recommended by a friend to come and see me, and she said, I've got to be honest with you, Laura, I don't really get it. And I was like, oh, okay, what do you mean? And she was like, I just don't get it. If you're source and you're light and you love, so you've got all your light and your love and it's amazing, why on earth would you split yourself off into a million pieces, a gazillion, quintillion, fintillion pieces, and go through all this just to end up back in the same place with the same pieces? I don't get it. Why would you do it? And I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally get it. And I've often thought that to myself, like, why on earth are we doing this to ourselves? What's the deal? Can't we just, stay at source and chill out a bit and not put ourselves through all of this crap? And then when we went into session, she came out with this incredible session, which is basically an explanation of the journey of source, but the journey of source in regards to the situation that we are on in Earth right now. So there's some amazing information that comes out about the energies on the planet, the split, and what's going to happen. So this is the one that I've chosen to share today. Over the coming weeks, I will be sharing more sessions about the shift, because I've got loads of people talking about the shift, loads of great information. One session I had, a dragon just requested to speak. So we had an amazing message from this incredible dragon that wanted to give humanity on Earth a bit of a pep talk, really, because we need one right now. So that was great. Had an amazing session where somebody was a tall grey alien that was on planet Earth during the time of the dinosaurs, and the information that he gave was just insane. It was incredibly good, and he saw the asteroid hitting, he saw the dinosaurs wiped out, and he explained all of that as it happened from his spaceship. And that was a really, really cool session. And he ends up talking about the shift and why the energies have got to split on Earth. Had another great session from someone else who spoke a lot about the darkness and the dark's agenda now, in terms of polarizing their side of the energies. So a lot of information came out in that one. That was fascinating. Had another session, a lady was an angel, but she talked about the split in terms of the angelic perspective of what's going on right now. Oh, I've had so many amazing sessions over the past few weeks, so I'll definitely be back posting again. It might not be every week, because before it was getting really, really tiring for me. I have got a lot going on in my life, so it might not be every week, but I will certainly get something up every fortnight to tide us over to the shift, which is coming down the wire. So this lady, she goes straight in to a place that's all white. That's all she can see. So I say, tell me about the white. It's not very bright, but it's white everywhere. And if you explore that white with your energy, what does that white feel like? Empty. Tell me more about that. Really try to connect. It's just a big space with white. And as you are there in that big space of white that feels empty, I want you to become aware of your own energy in that space. Tell me what you look like. Don't look like anything. Do you feel that you are a part of the white? Yes. And as you are a part of that white in this place, is there anything that you are aware of in that space? Anything else that feels like you? There is a part that's me. Tell me about that. It's only a small part that's me. Yes, tell me about that small part that's you. I'm just a part of the white. What does it feel like to be a part of that white? Empty. So the penny dropped for me at this moment, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this woman told me in the session at the beginning she just didn't get it. She didn't understand why Source was doing this, why it split itself off, why it's chosen to go through all this craziness. Why? And she's gone to the point in time right at the beginning where Source just is. It's a tiny, tiny part. Tiny part of it is Source. But it emanates white everywhere. But that entire place feels empty. And it's giving her the answer right here. Why did Source decide to split itself off? Why did it decide to do this? Why are we in this craziness on planet Earth? She wants to know why, right from the very beginning, why? Source gives it to her. And so now we get to go on this journey through Source's eyes and see why. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? So I say, because the pennies dropped for me, and that white, in order to feel less empty, is that why it goes and breaks part of itself off and travels into other realms and experiences other things in order to feel less empty? Tell me what you experience as you acclimatise. She sounds quite sad, quite shocked, and she says, there's nothing here. And I say, okay, yes, good. So then I move her, because nothing much is happening there. So this time she says, it's still white. And I say, okay, tell me about the white. It's everywhere. What's different about it now? It's bigger. Tell me how that happened. How has the white got bigger? It's expanded. And how has that happened? How did it expand? As time went on, it expanded. And how does it feel to be in that white now it's expanded? It feels bigger. Does it feel less empty now that it's bigger? It feels more empty. It feels more empty? I see. So the bigger it expands, the more empty it feels. Are you aware of the edge around that white place? Can you see as far as that from where you are? There does not seem to be an edge. It seems like it goes on forever. Yes. So she's moved to another point in time as Source, where Source is still experiencing itself. And this time it's got bigger, but it's still empty because it's just all the same. There's nothing different. There's no variety of experiences. There's no difference in knowledge. There's no wisdom gleaned from having incarnations and bringing that back. It's just all the same. So whilst it might be bigger, it's still empty. So she's starting to get a really good picture of why Source decided to do what it decided to do. So I move her again, and she says, I see white and grey this time. 2 shades. Tell me about the white and then the grey. It's like a gradient, they slowly mix together. Tell me more. It's lighter on one side. Tell me about that side. It's happier on that side. And tell me about the other side that doesn't feel as happy. It's darker and more miserable. It's grey. What is it that's different about the 2 sides where one is happy and one is sad? They are opposite. Opposite energies? Yes, they don't mix. Why is it that they don't mix? They repel each other. Why is it that they repel each other? Why can't they get on? They're not supposed to. Why is that? They have to stay on their own side. I see. Why is that necessary? They have to stay apart. What will happen if they stay apart? What happens then? It will be balanced. What will happen if those 2 energies mix? They can't mix. It's very important that they don't mix. Yes. What happens if they do? They can't. They repel each other. I see. So if you were to have those 2 conflicting energies in the same space, they would repel each other. Yes. And in this place where we are in now, with the light and the dark, how do you feel to be a part of that? How do you fit in? I'm just watching. I'm an observer. So we close that scene, we move on. So it's interesting. Source has created something else in order to feel something, to feel less empty. So it's created a conflicting energy from itself in order for something to happen. So I say to her, drift to where something significant is happening between these 2 energies, the light and the dark. Be there now. It's darker, it's more black now than grey. I see. So the grey's got even more darker now. It's black. How did that happen? It took over the white. How did it do that? It was more powerful. I see. And how was it able to take over the white? How did it become more powerful? It grew. How was it that it grew? What helped it grow? Negative emotions. Negative emotions fueled the darkness? And how was it that these negative emotions were able to grow? How did they grow and take hold? Through people. What has happened to the light now? It's fading. Is there still some light left? Yes. Tell me about that light that's left. It's only got a little bit of room that's left. It's weaker than the dark. How did it grow weaker than the dark? Because the dark grew stronger. How can the light grow stronger? What can it do? It needs to grow and spread. What can we do to help the light grow and spread? People need to feel happiness and joy. And how can they do that? Be around each other, connect with each other. And that will help the light to grow. And what will happen when that light grows back stronger? The dark will be conquered it will fade. So she's gone to a point in time where the darkness in the universe has come out of balance and it's actually grown stronger than the light. So I move her to another important day when something significant is happening between these two energies. What do you see? The white has grown, it's got stronger. There's only a little bit of dark left now. Good. And how did that happen? How did the light get stronger and the darkness shrink down? Through people. What is it that people were doing to make that light grow? They were coming together. And how did it help the light grow that people were coming together? It increased happiness. And now there is more light? Yes, but there is still some dark. And is that dark needed to balance the light? Yes, but they are always fighting. Why are they always fighting? Because there is no balance. And if they achieve balance, will they stop needing to fight? Yes. How will they achieve balance between these two energies? The people need to decide. So she's starting to move into talking about what's going on the planet now. The people need to decide. What is it that they need to decide? Whether they are light or dark. How can they make that choice? What can help them? Looking inside themselves. And if they look inside, they will know if they resonate more to the light frequency or the dark frequency. Yes. Why is it important that people make that decision now? Because there must be balance. Yes, there must be balance. What happens if there is more light than dark? What happens if the light comes out of balance? There is more joy. Yes. And how does it affect the universe when there is less darkness? People, beings are more happy. What happens over time when there is less darkness? There is more peace. What happens over time if there is more darkness? There is more destruction. And as the energy that is observing this, now that there is more light, what do you feel about that? It feels happier, but it's still not in balance. What needs to happen for it to be in balance? It needs to split. Tell me about that. The dark needs one half and the light needs the other half. And when that happens, there will be balance. Yes, because the two spheres are each a separate entity. Yes. Tell me more about how that will happen. How will they split? I see a circle of dark and a circle of light. They are next to each other. Focus your awareness onto that circle of dark. What is held in that circle of dark? Destruction and anger. Anger. Remember that. Anger is held in the circle of dark. So if anything's triggering you at the moment and it's making you feel anger, remember that that feeling, that emotion is anchored in the circle of dark. So if you're feeling that, you need to do something to release that emotion of anger. And if it's anger because of something that you're looking at on social media or the TV, switch them off, unhook. What's happening in the circle of light? Happiness, joy and peace. When that split occurs, will balance be achieved? Yes, they must be apart. And how will that affect the universe when that split occurs? It will balance the universe. Tell me more about that. They cannot be together like they are now. They must be separated. How will people experience that separation when it happens? They will go to one or the other. It is up to them. How will those two circles be split? How will that occur? It's like a cell splitting in two. And I've been saying that for so long. That's what I see whenever I have downloads, or when I meditate, or I think in one of my sessions as well, I saw it as a cell splitting in two. It is the two energies moving to either side, and it splits like a cell splitting in two in the body of the universe. And what will people experience that's in the dark part of the circle? More destruction, but they are dark. What will the people experience who gravitate towards the light side of the split? They will join together, like people all should be. And how will the two energies, the dark and the light, in the two worlds, how will they know when the split has occurred and the energies have been sorted? How will they know? The heaviness will lift in the light, and the heaviness will increase in the dark. Those that are contained in the light sphere, they will instantly notice the change. Yes, it will be an obvious shift, and everybody will know. And we will feel it. Yes, it's a lightness. And we will no longer have the heavy dense energy. Will we also see other realms contained in that light sphere that we've not been able to see thus far? And by that question I was thinking of us being able to see the fairies and the mermaids and unicorns and all that kind of thing. But she answers the question by saying, we will be visited by those who want to feel the light. So she means people from different worlds. They will descend once the earth is split, but they will only descend into the light side once the split has occurred. The people that remain in that dark side, in the dark energy, what will they experience when the light leaves? They will eventually destroy themselves. There will be more fights and more death to the earth. The earth will not be able to hold their energy. Tell me about that. They take too much. They cause too much pain to the earth. How will the earth deal with that? How will she get rid of the dark ones and cast that energy off? They will just die out. Tell me more about the light side of the split and what we will experience when just light energies are contained within that split. Nature will come back, the animals will be thriving, there will be more peace with nature, there will be harmony. What about the communities of humans that make it back into the light side? What will life look like for them? They will evolve. Tell me more about that. I see people using telepathy, the houses will all be natural, built out of natural things. They will be together in the villages. There will be lots of love. Yes, everybody is nice. What will people do all day in this beautiful place of light? They will farm, but in a friendly way to the earth. They will communicate with each other with love. What does this new sphere of light look like if you look around? There's lots of vegetation, trees, bushes, flowers, all over around the homes. Tell me about the homes where people live. You said that they are more natural. The ones that I can see in front of me right now look like they are made from the earth. A bit like mud from the earth. Does it feel like there's lots of humans who made it into the light sphere? As many as we have on earth now? No, there are a lot less. There's only a few in this village that I am in. Did many of the humans decide to stay in the dark sphere? There are a lot more humans in the dark than in the light. Why is that? They chose that experience. They chose that path and experience. Yes, they chose destruction through their choices. And in that dark side, the dark side of the sphere, what kind of destruction will happen there? It looks burnt. It looks black and dead. And where do the people live? In the dark sphere. In ruined houses. They're all broken, but they live in them. And looking at the light side, that light sphere, that beautiful place of peace, talking about the farming that you mentioned earlier. What is it that people eat in that place? Vegetables and fruits. We live in harmony with the animals. We don't kill anymore. Do we use crystals? Yes, some people do. What are they used for? Energy healing? What are the crystals used for? How do they work? They use high vibration, and they use vibration that is specific to that actual person. And in this new place, in this beautiful light sphere, in regards to the young ones on the planet, how do they spend their time? They're not schools, they're not the same, but they do learn. Tell me how the children learn. They learn to farm and grow. They learn how to be together, how to show each other love. They learn how to build communities. Once the energies of the two are separated into the dark and the light, is there then balance? Yes. How is it that the two energies were allowed to be in the same space? It was a mistake. They weren't supposed to be together? No. How did that happen? The dark started entering and mixing everything up. It shouldn't be here? No. I see. And so the two must be separated? Yes, they must be apart. How will the people in those two spheres experience that split? How will it happen? They will just come apart. How will the ones who are aligned with the peaceful energy, how are they to deal with watching the destruction that is happening on the dark side until the two spheres come apart? They need to stay away from it. They shouldn't watch it. They need to focus on the light. How can we do that? How can we stay in the light? We need to stick together with people of the same vibration. And how is it that you are able to know who are the same people as you, the same vibration? You feel it. You feel it and you connect with them. So the people who are moving towards the light, they need to stick together. Yes. And the dark ones, let them carry on. Let them go to the dark. They have chosen their path. What about the dark agendas that the dark ones are wanting to force on everybody on the planet, like the vaccinations? How do the ones who are wanting to choose the light stay away from that? It will not work. They cannot force the people. There is free will. Tell me why it won't work. We will be split. So the split will occur before they try to do the vaccinations? Yes. And they won't be able to vaccinate us because we will already have gone? Yes, we will be gone. Does that feel like the split's going to be happening soon? Yes. The energy is changing. Tell me more about that. The energy will increase before it splits. How will we experience that? What will we see? It will feel very, very heavy on Earth before the split. And the light ones must maintain their vibration and not get sucked into the destruction of the dark. Why will it feel heavy on Earth before the split? Because it needs energy to split. This is a process. It needs energy created from the opposing factions to create the energy required to create the split. So there has to be energy created that causes the split to be able to occur. Yes, there will be a build-up of energy before it splits. What will we see in our reality to know that this is happening? We will feel that dense energy build up, and then it will lift. What would it feel like right before the split, when it's at its heaviest and darkest? It will be difficult, particularly for those who hold the light energy. It will feel like things are going wrong. It will feel not like it should. But just as it feels that way, and it feels unbearable, it will lift. But the energy is needed to build up the dark side as well as the light, in order for the energy to be created for the split. So we will experience and see some of that darkness before we shift. So the dark will get worse before it splits. Yes. So it's almost like a chemical reaction. A charge needs to be created between opposing factions in order for the split to happen, in order to create the energy for that split to happen. The two very different energies being pulled apart. Yes, it needs the extreme energy to go into two. So I'm just going to pause there and highlight that part. There needs to be extreme polarization of energies, of dark and light, on this planet in order to create the energy for the split. And that is what is happening right now on planet Earth. So light workers, light warriors, star seeds, hold your light vibration. Do not get sucked into the chaos of the darkness, because what we are witnessing right now on planet Earth is the charge energy being created in order for the two opposing, polarizing factions to split. So I say, so what we are experiencing on the planet now with all of this chaos could be seen as the build-up charge of energy necessary prior to the split occurring. Yes, the split is just starting. How long will it take for that energy to build? It will build for a while, then it will split. What do those of us that want to pass into the light side of the split need to be doing as we run up to the shift? Is there anything that we can be doing to charge up the energy in our side of the split, in the light energy, so that the chemical reaction happens faster? The darkness seems to be doing a lot of things on their side to create their energy. But what can we do? Crystals, meditation, send out love to everybody, to your brothers and sisters, connect. Stay away from the dark things. Do not get your energy pulled into that. Is there anything that we need to do as people who wish to be in the light to charge our side up? Is there anything that we're not doing that we should? Send out positive emotion. Be in joy as much as possible. This will charge the light. Has everybody chosen yet which side they are wanting to be on, the light or the dark? It has already been decided, and everyone is in the right side of what they have chosen to experience. So everyone has been sorted now. We're just working our way up towards the splitting of the energies. The dark will get darker to create a charge. And we need to meditate and send out positive emotions and energy to create a charge on our side. Yes. And those people who stay in the dark side, what will it feel like there when the split happens? What will they experience? It will be heavy and angry and dark. The sky is very, very dark in the dark side of the split. And what will it feel like for those that pass into the light side? Relief. They will feel light and joy and happiness. It will be lighter. What do we need to do now to prepare ourselves for this split to occur? It will happen. We, each of us, just need to stay on our own side. How can we ground our energy into the light side? It already is. You are already on the side that you choose to be on. You do not need to do anything. It is done. As light workers, what should we be doing as we wait for the split to occur now? What can we do? Keep your vibration high always. Do not get sucked into the dark energies. The higher the vibration, the faster the split will occur. And I say, because the darkness is already descending down in vibration, we've seen the darkness ramp up exponentially with all the rioting and the nastiness on the planet. So we need to raise our vibration as high as possible. And I already know the answer to this question, but I always ask it, what can we do to raise our vibration higher? It's through emotions, feeling happy and loved, and being around the people that we love. Is there any final message that you'd like to give us today about the splitting of the worlds and the two energies pulling apart? It is happening very, very soon. You have already decided which side that you will be on. You must keep your vibration high if you have chosen the light. And then that was the full hour, so I had to move her into her higher self questions. So I thought that was an incredible information in terms of what's going on the planet right now. And I was hoping that it would bring hope and solace to everybody that looks out there and thinks, oh my goodness, how can we possibly be close to ascension because the whole world has descended into anarchy. It hasn't descended into anarchy. The dark side has descended into anarchy. The ones whose energy is anchored in the light, they're not out there rioting. They're not doing things like that. So we're literally on the final stretch. And it's going to get harder, guys. It's going to get harder and harder for those of us who are empaths, who are affected by people's emotions. It's going to get harder and harder. Because until the split occurs, you're going to see people daily who have chosen the dark side, who are affected by the energies like anger, rage that's happening in the dark side. So try and unhook yourself as much as you can from the ones who are allowing themselves to wallow in the dark energy, and hook your energy into the light side. Meditate, be in nature. Please, 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 please grow some vegetables and get some water in your house, because the dark side is going to descend into chaos before the two opposing energies repel each other. They have to polarize to the fullest extent possible to repel, which means that those of us that have chosen the light are going to be subject to some very, very dark times until that split occurs. So please make sure you have water, food, ideally grow your own food, get some water butts in your garden to catch the rainwater, and then you can distill it and mineralize it. And above all else, spend your time with people you love, doing things you love. be in joy. Be happy. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do it, and do it a lot. Because don't forget where this is going, where we're going. We are heading towards the most incredible time that we have ever known. We've just got to hang in there for this final part, which is going to feel unbearable. And it already does feel unbearable if you put your energy into that dark side and look what's going on out there at the moment. We can't fix the world as it is. As much as we want to, we can't. The two energies have to be separated because they will just constantly fight and create chaos. The two energies are not supposed to be in the same space. So the split will occur. So between now and the split occurring, just keep your vibration high, guys. That's the most important thing. Now this lady, when she came out, she'd heard about the split. She had no idea that she would give a session like this. Her mind was absolutely blown. And if you were to ask her about it, she felt, you know, that the split was probably about 5 years away, something like that. After she came out of this session, she just couldn't believe it. She was like, oh my goodness, it's really close. It's happening really soon. We're in it right now. It's happening. So it's close, guys. It is so close. There isn't much else that I want to share with you today. I want to keep this under the hour. Keep your vibration high. Switch everything off. Tune into the vibration of Gaia, into nature. Listen to the birds. Do they sound scared? No. We are heading towards the split, and when we get onto the light side of that split, it is going to be literally heaven on earth. It's going to be worth it. And when we look back, we will say, we're glad we did it. Probably won't want to do it again, but we're glad we did it. So, until I see you next time, make sure you keep vibrating high. I will post again when I can, but it's probably going to be a fortnight because I've got a very, very busy week next week. I've got a full week of clients booked in. It's very busy. Lots of people coming to see me for sessions, which is fantastic. It seems like people are waking up. Lots of local people as well, which, you know, prior to all of this virus, most of my clients were international. So obviously that's not happening at the moment, but all these new people have woken up. And they're all coming for sessions, which is brilliant. So if you do want to book a session with me, you can book on my website, which is www.laurawhitworthqhht.com. Click on the book now button and it will wait for it to upload. It will show you what sessions I've got left. There aren't many on there, which is great. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're coming to see me for a session soon, can't wait to meet you. And just keep vibrating high, guys. Hang in there. Before you know it, we're going to be sat chatting about this on New Earth, saying, whoa, gosh, that whole ascension thing. Wow, that was a mind bender. Why did we do that? I'm glad we did. But yeah, not really up for it again. I'll miss the boat next time. So, till next time I see you guys, make sure you keep vibrating high. Love you all. Bye.